Welcome! This video will present some shortcomings of the current implementation and a wish list of features that could make this project more valuable for our users making use of the neighborhood indexes. Some of the choices we made for this implementation were based on our limited knowledge of BreazeHome, real estate, and the availability of free access public datasets we found while performing our feasibility study in general. As such, this implementation is more of an early concept and it has so much more room to grow. Starting with the general things, neighborhood indexes should be more than just the 4 indexes we implemented this release, which are crime, floods, hurricanes, and wildfires. Neighborhood indexes should be more than just risk, but benefits as well. And some of the things we will have wanted to work with in this release go from businesses in the area, recreational zones such as parks and plazas, population densities, schools, public transportation routes, commute times, traffic densities, and much more. The weather hazards we chose are also but a few of the many that could have been implemented. We chose those which we felt were the most important out of a large list, and the NOAA dataset that fits them all provides data on quite a lot of events that could be easily integrated with the current implementation. We could add thunderstorms, blizzards, hail, earthquakes, and much more. A detailed list of weather events reported by NOAA will be found in the bulk data field explanation documents. The indexes at the moment are based purely on statistical averages, either from historic data or from currently available information. For the future, it will be interesting to implement them as statistical predictions, either from as a replacement or working alongside the averages. Another wish is for the calculations to be moved to the back end, as well as some of the other components. At this moment, the implementation uses Google Maps API on the front end, and we feel this may be much better running on the back end where the key won't be exposed. Same with spot crime. The county polygons for the map is also a GeoJSON file, which is stored on the front end and loaded. Right now, it is only one file that contains information of all the counties in Florida, derived from a larger file which contains information of the counties for the entire United States. This file could be imported into the backend instead and serve only the necessary polygons for the front end. The crime index at this moment is calculated with the most recent crimes that have occurred in the area that the user picks with the slider. This means the index is only as informative as the user wants it to be, and while the granularity provided by spot crime is great, it is not historical, and relies on agencies in the area reporting these crimes publicly and periodically. For crimes to make more sense, we have to take population into consideration, and other datasets may be able to provide the direct crime rate as reported by the agencies, instead of calculating it in our own, and using these crime rates to display a heat map style representation of the crime rates alongside the current radius-based individual crime display. The flood index right now represents the affected areas as a county-based index, as the NOAA dataset operates with two types of granularities, counties and zones. For this implementation we focus on counties, and as such, each flood index will be represented as an entire county's likelihood of flooding. It's too general in granularity and doesn't represent individual areas within that county that could be seriously in flood danger, or in areas that is very unlikely to suffer from floods. Without scrapping the current implementation, it will be great to implement a heat map that shows the individual areas within a county that are actually prone to flooding. In a way similar to how FEMA reports these incidents, a new dataset might be needed for this feature. The hurricane index is similar to the flood index in functionality. Same dataset as provided by NOAA, but hurricanes in the dataset are represented as zones, rather than counties. By focusing on counties in our implementation, some of the granularity is lost. Finding a way to implement the zones will make this index much more interesting. Another feature that could make this index much more valuable will be to display the average paths the hurricanes have taken historically through the states. The wildfire index functions exactly the same as the other two, as it is also provided by NOAA. But something that will make the wildfire index much more interesting will be to find a way to correlate the humidity and rain data for an area to calculate it in the moment. To display the likelihood of a wildfire happening at certain times of the year given how dry or humid an area may become. And these are our suggestions and recommendations for future releases of the neighborhood indexes. Many other ideas we've had could be worthy of being presented here, but these are the ones we felt are the most interesting and valuable. Thanks for watching.